Good morning. It is December 21st of 23. Here just looking out over the view from the doorway here. And not even I want to go outside and work in that kind of weather. It's just a straight drizzle coming down all the time. So we're not going to be doing as I planned. I'm not going to work at that old D4 over there. So instead we're just going to move inside the house. It's a perfect day to move inside the house and do some household chores, working in the kitchen. As you can see, we're getting set up in the kitchen here. We're going to do a few things here this morning, or getting on maybe the noon hour now, but we're going to do a few things here in the kitchen. As you can see, we've got the dishes all washed up behind me, and everything kind of organized here for the upcoming little project. I don't know if you thought we were going to get into some culinary work here or not, but no, we're going to get into carburetor work. This carburetor here is the carburetor that belongs to my 1927-28 John Deere D unstyled. Now I got that earlier there this summer. There's a video up on the channel there showing the pickup and bringing home of this here machine and doing some preliminary work on it. We did get it all torn apart, and the engine, which was all locked up, and it's all pre-assembled back again for the winter. But during the winter I thought that I would just work at this carburetor. Now I don't know if this is the original paint on it or not. The tractor has evidence of being repainted, so I'm thinking that this is a extra or a later on paint job. In fact, there's things in this carburetor, and this here fitting is painted. I don't know what this here is all about. I think it's for, you could inject water or whatever to cool the air intake down burning distillate. That's just what I think. I'm not sure. This is actually a nice brass. Once it gets cleaned up, get the paint off and everything, it'll be a nice brass body and everything. You can see it's brass on this end as well, and the bowl is a brass bowl. Now outside, just noticing this here fitting here somehow or another has been compromised, strip threads or whatever, and it looks like it's been welded into place. So just thinking about it, since that's an integral part of the bowl this here, I'm just going to have to leave that alone, clean it up as best we can. It's got to be some sort of a screen deal going on. There's a fastener to pull out of there. All these, well, I see this here, I've got some movement on this here part of it already. This has been soaking in Varsol for months. I just pulled it out this morning. This is still seized. This is was seized, but now it's functioning, so I got that to function. I'm thinking this is still going to be seized. The throttle here is still seized, so we're going to have to work at this tenderly and start taking it apart. So we're going to dig out some tools and get after getting this thing apart. All right, well, we're back again. It's not been that much time lapsed, but we got our tools and assortment on the table on the far side there, pliers and screwdrivers and so on and so forth, and a bud. It's pretty much noon, so we'll just have ourselves a beverage. As you can hear in the background, I got the washing going at the same time. Hopefully that'll not be too much of a hindrance on the sound quality. But let's get started. One of these was free, so I'm just going to Just pull this here jet out. I don't know what it's actually all about yet. I'm going to do a lot of researching on it. Now it does ratchet. I can feel it's ratcheting against something, and it does have a notch here, so you can tell turns in and out and so on and so forth. So there's our metering needle. So this here first piece, the metering, there's a metering needle, and it seems to be in really good condition. Well, it's held in place here. It's got a spring behind it, and it's come out that far, so I don't know if it's going to dynamite itself out of there. We'll just have to be careful with that. Anyway, so that's that part. Now, let's see if this is going to work itself free. Just gently putting a plier on it. Got some movement in it, yeah. I think it's going to come out. Yeah, it's coming free now. Hopefully it's in one piece. Also got the same ball, spring operated. It just comes out so far. This one here is not as in nice condition. It's lost its shine, obviously. But the tip is in good shape. Well, I think it's going to be all right. So far, so good. We haven't broke anything. And those balls, I don't know how they're in there, but they're not popped out there yet. So, okay, this here fitting here, I don't think is original to the machine or the carburetor. Oh, now that's not going to fit there. Hopefully it's not going to give us too much of a, no, it's going to come out easy. The working part of this thing is all rounded off. And here we got, I don't know what is in there. Something is jammed in there. It almost looks like wood. That is clearly wood. It's been pushed in there to block that port off. Instead of putting a bung in place, like a little square-headed bung, they just put this fitting in there with this stick shoved in it. That's interesting. The ingenuity of some people. Now this here is functioning, that butterfly. Now I think that's, I don't know what, is that the choke? I think this is the throttle. I think this is the choke. And this throttle part is seized for now. Well, what else can we take off? I'm not wanting to break that open or remove that That's pretty solid. That's pretty solid. That's pretty solid. We'll need better screwdrivers. Maybe we can get this bowl drain out. Boy, that's in there good and tight. There. The bowl drain, the little valve is in good shape. And inside there are 2 screws. I don't know if we can get in there, and we better get a little bit more light going. Got this just behind me here, an LED light. I think it's going to work for us. I don't think those are soldered. They might be. Yeah, I think we're going to need a little heat on there to get that solder off there. We got to get the butterfly off of the shaft to pull the shaft. So we'll have to go out to the shop on the vise and see if we can pull that. Well, we're going to need better tools. This is the, what I believe is the choke. Oh, and I just noticed that they got a little, some kind of a broken off wire in here. We might as well get rid of that. Okay, so we got that. We can't do anything with that because the screws are soldered in. But I did apply a little torque to this one with the plier, and eventually it got freed up so I can function it. And I did manage with the plier to get this little set bolt free, and it has a little pin that goes right into the shaft. It's pretty corroded. And then this here bushing slides out like that. That's a pretty big bushing, but it's pitted and corroded pretty badly. So now we got our shaft just kind of floating around in there. I wonder if I can get... Probably why it's so hard to come out. It's a kind of a clamping. There we go. Taking some tension off of this one. There, now it's turning quite a bit easier. The tablecloth seems to be traveling. Well, I wonder if the... Yeah, the plier will take it out. Kind of marred that up a little bit, not doing the right thing. That should have been backed off. That's what would hold the setting. Even this is brass, I believe, by the look of it. That looks like brass, this here whole fitting. Another one of those bolts with the pin goes right into the shaft. It's kind of a good system, I would think. Quite a bit of dirt and paint in there. I guess when you get 100 years old, you're going to accumulate a lot of bad things. I kind of like those set bolts there with the little pins in them. There's that fixture. Now this should work its way off as well. Well, this is the same as the other side. It's a great big bushing. Don't know if that's all a good thing, but now for sure we got to get the screws off of that butterfly. Now, I don't know if we got the right size wrench here. I'm gonna have to go get something else. Probably a crescent wrench, looks like the right size. We'll come on back to you. Well, I think we got the right size wrench here. Might need to take it into the vise. Yeah, we're not going to be able to break it loose here. We'll have to take it outside to the vise and get that nut off of there. Okay, we're back again, and we've had some success and a little bit of a disaster, but I guess that's the way it goes when you're working at this old stuff. I did get a success of, wrong butterfly, but pretty good success getting this throttle shaft out. The screws come out pretty good. It turned out they were not soldered, they were just tight in there. I couldn't turn them off without risking breaking them, or turn them out without risking breaking them without a little heat. So I put some heat on them, and I did break the one screw that holds this butterfly to the choke. Consequently, I tried to drill the bolt out, and as you can see, it was a total disaster. I tried to drill it out, it went off target, went sideways, kind of broke up that. The rest of it is I broke it up with pliers and so on and so forth to extract it out of the carburetor. So I guaranteed need a new choke shaft. I managed to save the butterflies and 3 of the screws holding that in. I sent all this stuff through the what do you call it, cleanser? Ultrasonic. All the stuff cleaned up pretty good. I guess it did its job. I've never used an ultrasonic before, but worked out pretty good. I'm still gonna have to buff things up. There's still a little paint on there. I think I'm just going to buff it up with the little wire wheel. I got a brass or a copper wire wheel. It's a little softer than the steel, so I should be able to polish them up and make them look shiny. Anyway, to get back to the body here, I could not break this free. I heated it up 2 or 3 heat cycles, and I won't break it off. And I think it's a emulsion tube or whatever that goes down through the bowl, and this is just screwed to the end of it, and I'm scared of breaking that. It's at danger of being broken. So I think I'm just going to ignore that for a little while. And I did, with a little heat, get these fixtures able to back out. Kind of full of some trash in there. I don't know what's in here. A little, I don't know if that's garbage or is that an old, oh no, it's kitty. Look at this kitty. Can you imagine that cat? And try to get that, it might have something to do with this being welded up, not being able to get that apart. It looks like it's some sort of is that part of the float valve? We'll have to get the body opened up. Maybe we'll put the lid back on it until we get the bowl off. I don't want to have that fall out of there and lose it. Anyway, there's a little screw here. We'll got that loose. We can get that out. Just a little brass plug. We can keep them separate. We can. And this one, I got this loosened off. Another bit of a plug of sorts. I think these are just plugs that go in there. Oh, I see. There's a special hole drilled, and you need a smaller screwdriver to go in and take that plug out. I think it's the manufacturing plug, but you can, like where they drilled that passage out and they just plugged it there, and another one going through, and they plugged it off on the other one, right here. But I can't get that one. Unable to get that to turn at this point. So about all that's left is trying to get this here nut off. So maybe we'll go back outside and do a couple of heat cycles on it. Moving over here to the stove. Yeah, if that's what you think it is, that's what it is. I got that old Schebler carburetor boiling on the soup, in the soup pot on the stove. Water and vinegar, trying to break that gland nut off the bowl. Nothing more to see here, folks. Okay, I think that, I don't know which worked. I put it in the ultrasonic cleaner for a few minutes, like 20 minutes or so, and then I actually got the old soup pot going over there, boiled up some vinegar and water. And amazingly, I just put this in the vise and the old thumb wrench, crescent wrench, and it came apart. So this is the first I'm taking this bowl off. It is pretty much full of crud in there. The float is in there. Pretty much crudded right up. Now, I thought that was loose once already, this screw. It holds the float mechanism. Oh yeah, it's broke free. Just another one of those funny little pin deals. Now this here is a, get another one on this side, and it's loose. There's the other half of that assembly. Okay, there, that's out of there. Now, that is a goofy little valve assembly. Almost looks like a tire valve kind of a thing. Yeah. This has come out of that cork or some sort of a float. And this here little guy is going to be locked up. We might be able to put that back into place. Here's where this thing goes through. That's the fulcrum. Okay, so that's the float. Might need some new parts like that. And we'll have to Yeah, this is pretty full of crud yet, but it's breaking up. Maybe I can put it back in the ultrasonic and give it another cycle that way. Everything come apart there just nicely. So we're going to put those pieces in the ultrasonic and let her clean up. Well, that was a little bit of an undertaking. I did get all of the bits and pieces, parts, plugs, etc., out of here, out of the carburetor, and I got it in this little bag here. I ended up, I put it in the ultrasonic cleaner after I got everything disassembled, give her another cycle of that, and then I sprayed her with the old Easy Off all around the outside. Did that a couple of times, let it soak in for a few minutes, and then washed and scrubbed it off. I got all the paint, or almost all the paint. There's still a couple of traces. But all in all, it's been a good teardown. I only need to replace the float, ring gasket around the bowl here, a small gasket down here, and then that choke shaft, of which I damaged taking the butterfly out of it, which I don't understand why that little screw broke, because I thought they're going to be soldered in, but they were actually not. They're just torqued in there. I did heat them up and got 3 out, and that one, just the head come right off it. So maybe it was weak or something was going on there. Who knows? Tried to drill out the end of the little bolt that's in the opposite side of that shaft, and it went off to the side, and anyway, disaster struck, and yeah, it did not turn out good. But anyway, got to source out some parts for this is a Schebler, a DLT number 3 carburetor. Pretty rare carburetor nowadays. It's 97 years old. So anyway, that's going to be the end of the video for now. Hope you enjoyed. If you stuck around, that's great. But we'll catch up to you on the next one. Bye for now.